Good afternoon, Big Brother fans. It is me, Mike, a.k.a. BB Gossip, and it is Saturday, just afternoon Big Brother time, 3:30 for me, Eastern time, and this is my podcast for today. I don't think I'll do another one probably till tomorrow, so we'll try to get you as much information today as we can. I am not in my car. I am sitting out in my backyard, and there's a motorcycle going by right now, so there you go. I'm not going to try to wait for planes like they do in the Big Brother backyard. So, what is going on? I actually took the time to write out a list, and I will try to stick to it to stay on task. When I left you last yesterday, the feeds had gone down for what I wasn't sure but thought could have been nomination. Thought there might have been a special competition for backstage, and I was wrong. There was no backstage competition. It was indeed nominations. And, oh gosh, this is where I'm going to blank on names. This is good. Daniel nominated Michael and Terrence, which is who he'd said very early in the morning yesterday that he might nominate. And of course, the internet is mad. Some of the internet is mad, specifically Terrence and Michael fans. I don't know what to tell you. I have kind of thrown in with Michael as a fan of his for now, and so I am finding myself defending him a little bit. And there's a lot of people whose opinions I respect that are just talking about what a terrible game move Daniel is making and how he's not playing a good game. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Daniel is playing the game that Daniel is playing, and he doesn't have the view that the rest of us have as far as house dynamics. And one of the reasons he put Michael up was because Michael just wasn't doing anything. Now, since the nominations, Michael has kind of come out of his shell and started to do all kinds of stuff. But you can't blame Daniel for trying to find somebody to put up and find a reason. What they wanted, a lot of the people that are upset about his nominations wanted him to nominate, was they wanted him to go after the big guys, the strong, the alpha males. And because he didn't do that, that's why a lot of them are upset. And I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if it would suit Daniel to go after the bros, because I frankly don't think he's going to be as embraced by the girl alliance as some might think. Doing the heavy lifting for some of the other house guests may not be to his best advantage. So I don't blame him for not doing that. And I'm sorry that he went after Michael. I'm sorry that he went after Terrence. He had to pick two. And some would have been probably happy if he'd picked Alyssa and Paloma, but they weren't options. Not that he would have picked Pooch, but Pooch wasn't an option. And not that he would have picked Brittany, but Brittany wasn't an option. So he had 4 people taken off the table. So then suddenly he's down to, where we're at? We're at 15. He's down to 11 people to pick from. Pickings get slim pretty quick, so stop hating on Daniel. Let's see how it goes. It may be a terrible move for him, and it may cost him the game, but he did have to do something, and that's the way he went. So, all right. What else went on after nominations? There has been lots of talk. There has been lots of alliances coming and going and forming. Not necessarily going, but a lot of alliances forming, and I will get to those later on. The one thing of note that I wanted to at least talk about initially was a video that I shared of Paloma. She is, I caught several instances, or at least 2, where she's talking to people and talking about how America's probably going to hate her for calling Taylor a pageant girl. And it's like, why are you talking about that? Why are you thinking that America might hate? Why are you even, so focused on it? My only guess is she's got a lot of questions about that in the diary room. And she is savvy enough to pick up that, they're asking me about it. That means it's probably going to be featured. America's probably going to hate me. And so she's been talking about it and kind of walking it back and kind of, talking about how great, Taylor was and how she had to change her heart. Oh, and last night at dinner, by the way, they did a round the table thing. It seems, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I know there was a couple different instances where people were talking about themselves and breaking down and crying, and Taylor was one of them that gave this big, huge cry, and how, her friends mean everything to her, and all this kind of stuff. And, she even said at one point, you're my friends, even when I'm going to stab some of you in the back, kind of a thing, which got a laugh. But there was tears. This was after nominations, so Michael was nominated, Terrence was nominated. It was kind of an emotional thing. But point is, after all of that, Paloma's kind of like, well, I kind of had a little bit of a change of heart. I kind of feel bad that I've kind of bad-mouthed her and called her a pageant girl. Meanwhile, she still kind of calls her that. But I really felt like she was trying to do damage control. And as I said, we're probably definitely going to see her comments in the diary room of her being negative towards Taylor. I don't know if we're going to see any of these times where she's talking her up unless she goes directly to Taylor and says, Taylor, I thought you were one kind of person, but now I realize you're another kind of a person. That would be what she needs to do if she wants to get some TV time, if CBS even chooses to use it. But that would be something that they would want to show. They don't really want to show her explaining Taylor to other house guests. That's just my opinion. We'll see. So that's, things that happened last night. Alliance talk. The Paloma stuff was this morning, and maybe even last night, but definitely this morning because that's when I saw it. And then just earlier on this morning, earlier today, they drew for the Power Veto competition. And in addition to Daniel playing because he's had a household, and Michael and Terrence playing because they're nominated, Indy, Amira, and Turner are the other three people playing. Now, frankly, that's a pretty... if you had to pick athletes in the house, there really aren't any in that group that are playing, right? I mean, they're kind of talking about how Indy might be the most athletic person of that group, maybe Michael. So we'll have to see, but we now know what the Power Veto competition is because several reasons. Yesterday at one point during the morning or in early afternoon, they accidentally, and I'm using air quotes because who knows, they let us see very briefly the setup starting for the backyards. We saw one brief glimpse, which you couldn't tell much from that brief glimpse. And then earlier today, the account, what is it? Backyard, Big Brother Backyard. I follow it. They have done drone shots of the backyard. They didn't do any, I don't think, last year, but they're back this year, and they did a drone shot apparently last night, but they didn't publish it till this morning. And all I could tell from initially was I thought, well, it looks like there's two lines, two side by side, like a if you were at a bowling alley, like two bowling alleys side by side kind of a thing. It's like, are they going to do like a knockout competition? And it now it makes more sense. It looked like there was a tent at one end, like where the pool table normally sits, and then along one wall. From the combination of that picture, the drone shot, and the original feed leak, it was like, well, there's a raised area where house guests could sit. So it's almost like there's an audience could sit there. The house guests could sit there and watch the competition. And if there was two people competing side by sides, it would be some kind of a knockout competition. So I say all that to say then, just a little bit ago, right before the feeds went down for the Power Veto competition, there was another feed leak that I retweeted. It was Team North that got that one. And it was obviously a side-by-side competition, and there is a track. There's literally two tracks. Looks like they're going to ride jousting horses, like dummy jousting horses, and they'll probably have their jousting things, and they have to catch rings as they're going down. If you've ever seen a medieval fair or something, one of the things you can do is you hold the jousting thing out and you catch a ring on your spear, whatever you call the thing right now. I can't think of the word. My guess is the person who catches the most is going to advance. That seems very straightforward. So we basically know what the Power Veto competition is. I wouldn't say that favors anybody, right? Sitting on a horse and holding a spear, is that going to favor anybody per se? I don't think so. So it should be a fairly even competition, unless it's super heavy and so it's hard to hold up. But all in all, not too bad as far as for anybody. By the way, before the Power Veto, after the names were drawn and everything, multiple people talked to Daniel. I specifically saw Amira and Turner talk to Daniel and like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And guess what? I'd rather things not change. And I want to do what you want to do. So, yeah, the odds of the Power Veto being used by anybody except for Michael and Terrence are pretty slim. Although, remember, or maybe you don't remember, but do know that Indy... at some point she said something to the effect that Terrence was like her soulmate. I don't mean like in a love thing, but just in she's like like she feels connected to Terrence. So I could see her saying, I have this connection with Terrence, I have to save him. Now, she may feel close to Michael too, so maybe she won't be able to pick between him and be like, I can't because I love you both. We'll get to that tomorrow. Or Monday, actually. The Power Veto meeting won't be till Monday probably. So now we know the Power Veto, which is just going underway, starting right now. They were heading out to the backyard to do that. So that could be, the feeds will be down for an hour or two maybe. Let me touch on a couple of other things, and then I'm actually going to wrap this up because I'll let you get back to your day, and I'm going to get back to doing stuff while the feeds are actually down. Alliances. I tweeted out some links this morning, and there's multiple people that do alliance charts. I used to do alliance charts. I did them. I don't remember if I started in Big Brother 15. I think I kind of did, was the first year I did them, because I noticed how the alliances, how people were getting evicted and shaking out. And I said in that case, in that season, it was almost like an onion, that the outsiders were getting just clipped off one by one, and kind of who's at the core. That's who's going to end up winning this. That's how I saw it. I said like the core of the center of the onion, the center of an apple kind of a thing. And so I did alliance charts for that season, and then I did it again for Big Brother 16. I may have done it for 17 and 18 or whatever, but I don't remember. But I specifically 16. 16 was really easy to do because 16 was Derek and Cody in the middle, and then they just built alliance upon alliance upon alliance upon alliance, and it was just literally like almost like an onion, where they were in every single alliance, and then there was additional people on there as the alliances got bigger, and they just picked them off from the outside for the most part until they were down to just those two. So I know of multiple accounts that put out information on alliances. And as a matter of fact, I listed 3 that did pictures, but Big Brother Barbecue is another one, or Reality Barbecue. Is that what they call it now? It used to be Big Brother Barbecue, but I think they're going by Reality Barbecue now. Anyways, they're a Twitter account. They tweeted out their list of alliances, and I only had 3 that I could post, so I did the 3 that had pictures, which was Cass. Let me pause here for 1 second while I pull up my... Well, I can't pause, actually. In order to do this on my phone, I have to do it while my phone is open. So I will pull up my photos, and I will say that the 3 people I tweeted out were BB Updoots, and that's Cass, BB Updoots. I played Sequester with her a couple of years ago. And Dolfica, Dolffica. She's been doing them for a few years now here, and I really like those. And then also 80 Razor Skates. It's 89 Razor Skate 20 is the Twitter handle. But I tweeted these out, so hopefully you guys are all familiar with them anyways. Has been doing an alliance chart for years. That one is definitely the most visually stimulating, graphical, because it's got everybody's face and alliance names and stuff. Dolfica's is actually the one that I kind of like, that reminds me the most of mine, in that it's got the names and it's got their circles around them as far as what alliances they're in and lines for connections and kind of stuff, and it's really, really handy to kind of get a sense of what's going on. And I talked about that one a lot last year, and I will go to that one as far as where I think the strengths are and who I think's in a really good position, and it tends to come down to who has the most alliance connections, because that kind of insulates them the most from getting in trouble. It's too early right now to really say who has the best connections going on. And then finally, BB Updude's Cass, hers is, I had never seen hers before. I don't know if she's ever shared it before, but she's got one, and it's interesting because it shows alliances in a different way, in that it shows how she weights the alliances. So if a person is in multiple alliances, she gives them different weights, how invested she thinks she is in those certain alliances. So that's another interesting one to look at. So the alliance charts are really good. Plus, some of them list some alliances, some of them don't list some alliances. It's just what you think is important, and so they're all worth checking out. Again, I tweeted about it this morning. You should check them out. I want to pull up Dolficas to kind of just go over the names. Actually, I don't know. They're all there. There's too many alliances to go over. I mean, the ones that I'm thinking about right now, there's a 6-girl alliance, which I don't know how long it's going to last. I talked about that already. And then yesterday, there was a 6-boy alliance that got going. And that is an add-on to the 3-guy alliance that was talked about yesterday, which was Daniel, Turner, and Pooch. And they added on Kyle, Monte, and Joseph. So that's a 6-person guy alliance. I don't know how strong that is. And then the 6-person girl alliance, since I get listed the boy alliance, of course, is Paloma, Alyssa, and Amira. To me, those are the core. And they added on Jasmine, Indy, and Brittany. So you've got that. And then I also tweeted about it. I don't know if I mentioned it. There's also a 3 women, 3 men alliance of 6. And that is, they're calling that Mamba. And Mamba is Paloma, Alyssa, Amira. So once again, the core 3 girls grab 3 guys, Monte, Kyle, and Michael. So, maybe those 3 girls are doing pretty good, but I'm going to tell you what, I think one of those 3 girls is going to be gone on Thursday. That's just my intuition, my guess. I could be completely wrong. And then you've got your other alliances going on, which I'm not going to delve into too deeply, other than Nicole and Daniel, of course, have a final 2 thing. Brittany and Turner seem to have a final 2. And then there was one other final 2. I guess Paloma and Alyssa kind of have a final 2. Oh, you know what? And Turner has another one with Pooch. They're calling Tooch. So there's actually, Turner is in 2 final 2s. And I'm looking at actually Razor Skate's alliance charts to kind of go over my brain on that. And the key here is, like, who isn't in an alliance? And guess what? Guess who's not in an alliance? Terrence is not in an alliance. Taylor kind of started talking game with people last night, so she kind of, endeared herself, but she's not nominated either. So Terrence is technically right now not in an alliance, and he's nominated. I know there's a lot of house guests that say they want to keep him, but you're not in an alliance, dude. So that's the alliance situation. I'm not going to, I think I've gone through enough. For right now, we'll wait and see what happens with the power of veto today, and I'll talk to you more tomorrow. I thought about going over every player and how I think they're doing so far, but you know what? I can wait. I've talked about enough. I've filled your ears. You guys can get back to your day. Thank you for listening. I don't know if I will do a Twitch stream yet today. I've done a couple now. I'm going to try to do more, but not right now for sure. I don't know if I'll do one tonight or not. But glad you guys check it out. Glad you're listening. Thank you for following me and all that good stuff. And, thank you. I'm trying to think of anything else. Just one brief plug. I will plug my Patreon account. If you find this entertaining, informative, whatever, and you want to support me for doing this, really, we don't make any money off of being an affiliate anymore. In fact, I haven't even advertised my affiliates, my being a CBS affiliate for the feeds this year. I haven't done it. And I may eventually. I have directed people just to go to Hamster Watch, go to Dingo's site. I may eventually say, go to my site too, but I haven't yet. So affiliates, we just don't make much money as compared to what we used to make. And so the way that I am getting any kind of monetary return for doing all of this the past couple of years is this CarCast or podcast, or whatever you want to call it, where at the end there's usually a couple of ads. I get a little bit of that. And then I have a few, what I would call my core allies, are my patrons. And you can sign up and be a patron of mine at patreon.com/BBGOSSIP. And I give them shout outs every once in a while. And I just appreciate them so much. And they are my ride or dies. And as a matter of fact, one of them just yesterday changed their amount. I got an alert that they changed their amount. They'd lowered it, and now they've raised it back up. So I appreciate that, and I will be giving them a message soon to let them know that I saw that, and I appreciate it. So anyways, that's it, guys. I'm out of here. Got you almost 20 minutes worth of me rambling. And just follow my Twitter account if you're looking for an update. I also will... I'll try sometime this weekend to write something on BigBrotherGossip.com. I haven't since I wrote my initial thing yesterday, but maybe I'll try to get back to doing that too. So multiple irons in the fire and things going on. I won't be doing TikTok anytime soon, though, unlike Kyle. There we go. I'm out of here, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.